Salvete and Salutations! I'm CBL, and today I will be going over all the theories that I made based off of the Web of Lies comment stream. This will be a short, multi-part series where I share the theories I made based on the different streams Ari did on Replayed about each particular FNAF musical. We'll start with Web of Lies today, and in the future, we'll cover the other streams and theories. Please keep in mind that these theories are over a year old at this point, and this video is mostly for documentation purposes. I will add the clips that are relevant to each theory after presenting them. 1. How fire is important. Since Springtrap's wiring has been burnt out ages ago, it would be likely that we see fire somewhere in the next part. If the fire were to burn down the entirety of the first location, it would explain why we see no other animatronic besides the Faz Gang, Springtrap, and Balloon Boy. Balloon Boy is a simple AI, so Afton could easily recreate him.
For example, we know that when Nate Wants to Battle finds Springtrap later, he says that all the wiring's been torn out. But when we first meet Springtrap with Charlie, CG5, in Ground Zero, he says that all his wiring is intact. There's a gap there, and it wasn't by accident. We didn't just forget. There's something missing in between that might end up getting explained for you guys.
2. The second victim. This is a scrapped theory. AJ stated that at some point, he'd want not one, but 2 deaths within the episode. I've established in another theory that a victim could be Elizabeth, dying by Circus Baby like she does in the games. My theory for the second victim is none other than Glitchtrap. Unless a new character is brought in to be killed off, this is the only character with quite a bit of relevance to the plot who could be decently killed off. It would likely happen due to either the entity himself or the software he was created on being destroyed, perhaps by a giant fire.
For example, we know 100%, I think 2 characters are going to die in the next one. But one of them is kind of undecided which character. Is that weird to say? That feels weird to have just said out loud, but 2 people have to die. One we're sold on, one we're like, maybe, somebody. One of them, like that, so.
3. Glitchtrap's unknown endgame. Glitchtrap has an unknown endgame, which is pretty interesting. In theory, Glitchtrap could be wanting to expose the truth, destroying anybody in his way. In that circumstance, he would want to be the hero of his own story. His character, besides being very knowledgeable about the things that happen at Freddy Fazbear's, is also pretty unknown.
We don't know 100%, or I should speak for myself, I don't know 100% what Glitchtrap's endgame is. I think that's a little still up in the air where he could change exactly what he's after, because he hasn't outright told anybody yet. And so that's been a source of some of our discussions is, you know, for all the other characters that we have a direction and we know what has to happen to them and things like that, we don't exactly have a sealed, definitive reason Glitchtrap is doing some of these things yet.
4. The puppet's role. The puppet has had a minor role so far, but I can imagine that he's the one to perhaps explain to Elizabeth what could have happened to the main Faz Gang, whether that be through gestures or actually speaking. We've also seen him lurking over different events in Web of Lies.
Same thing with when we talk about the puppet a little bit. I think there's been a general vibe in the original series that everybody expected him to do something great, but we haven't seen him do anything that great so far other than he gets the keys and rescues Foxy. So I think there might be more for him still coming.
5. Results from a fire. If the restaurant burns down, then Freddy has either been remodeled by the time of the supercut, as well as the rest of the gang, or he and his gang didn't make it back to the restaurant to stop a fire from happening in the first place. They're away from being shipped off somewhere. Circus Baby Party Works.
Obviously, we know that Freddy Fazbear is alive and well in the future, so without being too spoilery, he's probably going to survive our series, or we're going to have to get a replacement Freddy from someplace to take his spot. I don't know which yet. I say I don't know which. You guys don't know which.
6. The violent car stunt. There's a stunt that AJ would like to pull, which is most likely the car bursting through the wall stunt that he wants to do, but Legal says no? Maybe? Legal says something that isn't a definite yes. Considering Gwen said it's super violent, maybe someone gets run over by a car?
There is one, there's a stunt kind of problem that we're having to figure out that's going to require some prop things, potentially. I don't know yet. There's 1 or 2 really difficult things we have to figure out. And in fact, it's been the source of I don't want to call it our legal situation on it, but there's definitely a situation we've talked about, whether it's too much or if it's in line with the other FNAF stuff, because we don't want to cross lines with our audience and feel like it's getting too dark or too scary. But obviously we don't want to make it too lighthearted where people go, you're not living up to the fact that they burned down Freddy Fazbear's and you know, characters die and stuff.
Basically, there is an event that AJ would be super, super excited to include in the story. And I have literally told him that is an event that you have to clear with the actors to be like, are you willing to do this and have this on the internet of it being around? Which sounds really weird, but like it's violent. It is more violent, I think, than FNAF has gone before, but I think it is in line with the idea of FNAF.
Yes. Yeah.
7. The Afton family. This is more of a note than a theory, but this involves my idea of Elizabeth and William Afton being the ones that are going to die. There's also in my notes referencing to Undead Michael Afton, which is a running gag that I believe I started, and we're not going to go into that can of worms right now.
For example, we know 100%, I think 2 characters are going to die in the next one. But one of them is kind of undecided which character. Is that weird to say? That feels weird to have just said out loud, but 2 people have to die. One we're sold on, one we're like, maybe, somebody. One of like that, so...
8. Who built Glitchtrap's AI? Nate mentions that Ultron is one of the inspirations for Glitchtrap, and if you don't know, Ultron is a villain from one of the Avengers movies. While that is perhaps minor, it leads to an interesting perspective of Glitchtrap being an AI. Who built him? If inspired by Ultron even just a little bit, he must take after his creator. Was Afton the one to build the AI? If not, who did?
I feel like when you were writing Glitchtrap, you actually used Ultron as a little bit of a inspiration, so to speak.
Yeah, I think just the concept, it's weird, maybe just everybody who ever has an AI come to life who's like connected to like the internet and whatever else, like they always write the character as being like bemused by humanity, but also like they're pathetic, those humans. They don't know anything. I don't know. It's a weird haughtiness with a sense of humor.
9. An AI's relevance to the suit. Following the Ultron theme again, Nate said that Glitchtrap is the result of Afton trying to make an updated suit with a rabbit theme, full of different technologies inside to help his end goal. That's interesting because, again, if he was busy making the suit, who made the AI?
Going back to like Ultron idea, is that the Glitchtrap suit is, it's like, the idea is that it's some sort of like suit that maybe William Afton's working on that has like electronics in it.
Yeah.
It's like an updated bear suit kind of idea that the AI gets into and kind of corrupts, basically.
Yeah. Right.
So that's
not
kind
fully
of
animatronic. It's like the spring lock kind of version, which is weird because we use that on Spring Trap. But in the game is the idea that you can get in some of these suits and walk around.
it is like in Age of Ultron where he gets into the AI of like one of the Iron Man suits and comes after them at the party or whatever.
Yeah.
So
10. Violent car stunt follow-up. While most likely a joke, AJ mentioned that Glitchtrap could drive a car, and that scares me because he wants to do a stunt with a car.
He could drive your car for you. Is that horrifying? Be like, I'm gonna take you over to Freddy Fazbear. And he'd be like, he doesn't have to be in the car. He can just like call in from OnStar or something, and like turn on your ignition and drive you and lock you in the car. Yeah, he could totally do a scene like that.
11. Trash and the Gang shenanigans. Trash and the Gang have a bigger role, which is quite interesting. But knowing Glitchtrap, if he takes after William Afton, he's using them, and he could just leave them behind when he's done using them. That would be another interesting event, because then they would either give up or go against Glitchtrap themselves.
Favorite thing I think we've done though is Trash and the Gang are like a joke in like their first appearance in the Pizza Simulator game. And we saw that and went, we can do more with them. What if they're actually a force to be reckoned with? What if these guys are like the goon squad for, you know, Glitchtrap? So that has been one of, I think, our best additions to the FNAF universe, is giving Trash and the Gang something real and like serious. And obviously, like once Ultimate Custom Night came out and you could add them, they I think posed more of a, they got more of a role in the gameplay and not just like they exist and they're silly. But either way, I feel like we've really helped lend to their credibility.
They were nothing before us.
We made you! Not actually.
Oh, I mean, physically.
Physically, we did. We did.
12. Legal investigation. An extended version of the legal scene with Nate and MatPat could involve more speculation of the disappearances of the kids at Freddy Fazbear's, or even speculation about Afton's behavior in the first place.
There is also a lot of cut dialogue from that. Maybe at some point you'll get a chance to see it, but there's an extended version of that scene that goes on a bit more, has extra detail, things like that. And again, like, Matt chews the scenery of anything he does, but especially sitting across the table from Nate here, like, that was a really good scene, and it actually hurt a lot to shave it down piece by piece to fit it into, like, an overly long FNAF musical episode as it was.
Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Like I said, this will be a multi-part series for each of the individual comment streams. However, there's a likelihood that it will be a hot second before each part is put out, since I'm a one-woman show here and I need time to edit. As always, be sure to check out my socials and the Discord using the link in the description. And remember, let your theories fly.